Well, here we are. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Sheepy Hollow. Today, we're going to go and check on the beavers again. And I got some cleanup to do here. And I might even light the fire. She wants to get rid of the pumpkins. We're not sure if they eat them or not. So what I'll do is I'm going to load them up in the Jeep. Hopefully they're not rotten. Or that'll be ooh, there's some liquid dripping there. They're soft. So that ain't happening. And I got to throw those corn stalks out to make room for the Christmas decorations. So, hang on here. I got something I spotted I can get rid of right now. Because when the snow comes, let's get rid of this damn thing. I know you guys are saying, what are you putting that there for? Well, I'll tell you, it's temporary, because she might want it here, or over there. So I'm just sticking it there, realizing, of course, oh, we got mail. Let's go get the mail too. So anyway, that's just the way it is. So if anybody follows me on the Facebook page, you'll notice that we lost service again last night.
He says.
So what does that all involve? Now you do realize I love living out here. I wouldn't change it for the world. Well, I would, but it'd have to be... Oh! That didn't work. Not bad. Okay. You can't go backwards now. But we have problems with our internet here. Big time. Among other things. So we'll get on to that as soon as I get ready to go here. We'll get the mail first. Oh, the guy picked up the frickin' the wire that was there. Oh, letter in the very back. Thanks for that, mail person. Jeez. Good thing I got long arms. Letter for my wife. Letter for my son. Okay. So now we can go. So, you probably can't see it, but if you know where the generator is on the left of the house, up in the corner of the house, not at the top, but at the far corner, you can see a little satellite dish sticking up there. Well, that's what our internet is. It's pointed to, and I'll come over here, to approximately, well, you'll see it when I go down the hill here a bit. You see that big hill over there? That's where the satellite towers are. There's like 3 or 4 of them up there. So from the corner of my house to that tower, we're the only people on this road that have a direct connection or a line of sight that's got no trees or nothing on it to the tower. The tower's dish basically points to where I am on an angle. So everything that you see forward here is as I drive more forward, the signal gets stronger. So we're at the very edge of it. The guy came out and told us, he says, this was about a year ago, it says, oh, I can put you on this system now. He says, you'll have better service. Well, he put us on that system. He drove away, and it took 3 days to get them to come back and put me on the other system, the one that we were currently on. Since they've been coming out here, and that's since we had it in 2013, we've had a steady stream of repairmen coming out here. And I've logged probably a good 100 hours or more on traveling to my neighbor's house to use their phone, or traveling into the city to go to the repair company, which is not part of the internet provider. They just offload the work orders to those guys, and then they'll come out and fix it. So they've replaced my dish. They've replaced the wire. And I've replaced twice the power supply from the wall. Last night, or no, a week ago when I had the last time I had a problem, I put it up on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and they explained that, hey, we got a problem. They won't be back until Tuesday. That would be last Tuesday. So 5 days ago, we'll say. 4 or 5 days ago. But on Monday, they phoned me, in the repair company, and said, oh, we're not coming. The tower's the problem, because we've got a lot of calls from customers on the same tower. So anyway, the internet came back on, I think on a Sunday. Monday they called. Tuesday they were supposed to be here to fix the freaking thing. Then we were just kind of humming along, and the phones are disconnecting like usual. If my wife talks to her mom, sometimes these conversations can go on for hours, and that's great because I don't have to, I get a freedom. Anyway, what happens is the phone disconnects, and her mother has to either call back, or Giselle calls her mother, and the conversation goes. But this happens in the daytime as well. So if we're talking to a company, or in the case of Monday coming, I've got a doctor's appointment on the phone. And if it disconnects, you can't call the doctor's office because Martha never answers. Or when she does answer, you're so flustered that she did answer, you forget what you're going to say. And they won't let you walk in there because it's like high security now, because it's understandable. You don't want to kill your doctor with some kind of COVID thing going on. So anyway, that was that. So last night, they phoned up about the work order because they never closed it. And that's all they want to do, is they want to close it. They don't want to, have to send somebody out and pay a third party to fix it. So that's their little plan. He said, I'll just factory reset it. After I explained to him that we don't have mobiles, because out here the mobile phone don't work. So why bother? Which is another peeve I've got. Why would I want to pay to have a mobile phone service when I have to drive all the way into the city, or quite a ways and quite halfway to the city, before I can use the phone? Nobody calls me anyway. And if anybody wants to call our home, they can talk to the wife. I don't really care to talk to people usually on the phone. If you want to talk to me, you come to the house. and we'll deal with it then. So anyway, after he said all the factory reset it, and I'm thinking, this guy, he said he was in Cornwall. Well, la-di-da, that was the end of the internet for the night. So I played a little bit of solitaire. I played a little bit of this, a little bit of that online. So, or not online, just on the computer, so that I could, get tired, go to bed. This morning we get up, and morning comes early here because we got dogs that want to pee anywhere from 5 o'clock onwards. This morning it was 20 after 6. No big deal. You go out, you let them out, you come back to bed, and then sometimes they're out there for like to 9 o'clock in the morning, so you can get yourself a nice sleep. Sleep in, feels good in a nice warm bed. Well, not this morning. Those buggers wanted back in 5 minutes after I got back into bed. Not both of them, just one. So you know the story's going to be now. I go back to bed again. And geez, the other guy wants in now. The one that never does want in. Storm is the one that stays out the longest and the first out the door. Always. Well, he came in, and it's probably 20 to 7 now. So we all go back to sleep. I get up, throw my clothes on, because I gotta go get the internet fixed. And it can be a big friggin' deal. Every time it's a big deal, actually. So what I had to do was get myself all dressed up again, go down to my neighbor's house, and hope that they were home, because the last time the internet went out, on the previous Friday, she was in the city. And her husband wasn't home either. So I couldn't use their phone. And believe me, I really appreciate the hospitality that family's given us since we've moved here. They make you feel really comfortable, and they're good people. Well, anyway, I get on the phone from the guy. This guy's now, he's in Woodstock, New Brunswick. Great. He's got empathy because he knows what the service is like around here. And he tells me step by step what I can do to fix my modem. The 192.168. whatever. So I log in there, I click on this, I click on that, and Lord behold, he says it takes about 5 minutes for the network to accept me. They already know who I am because I have an account, whatever. And away we go. Internet's working. I phone the internet company up to tell them, and I'm pretty upset, but I'm not swearing, and I don't do that usually anyway. And I get an East Indian guy on the phone. I got nothing wrong with East Indians. They're good people. But I have a hard time trying to understand what the hell the guy's saying. So anyway, I said I want a credit for my time lost. I learned that from another person a friend of ours who worked with them, and said, oh yeah, just phone them up and just be forceful enough that they're going to give you a credit. So the guy comes back and he says, how many days have you lost service for it? I says, well, the last couple of months, 3 days. She says, okay, just wait for 2 minutes and he'll come back. I says, well, why don't you just phone me back when you want to tell me what you're going to tell me, instead of me sitting on the phone waiting. Anyway, I sit there and I wait, and he comes back and he says, 3 days. He asked me about 5 friggin' times. And I says, look, it's more than just 3 days. It's continually. I says, it's 1 minute here. It's 5 minutes the next time. It's an hour. It's 12 hours. It's a couple of days. 3 days maybe, total. Whatever. I says, and I was getting pretty upset then, and I'm getting worked up again. So anyway, he says, well, I can give you $6.71 or some damn thing, he said. I says, for what? For the time you lost, sir. I says, look, you call me back when you're going to give me a decent credit on my account, or don't bother calling back. So 5 minutes later, the phone rings, and I knew exactly who it was. There's the little Indian boy, and he says, I can give you $25 credit a month for 3 months. Well, we just got off of a $30 a month credit for those last 6 months. Anyway, let's just hope that this internet is going to run. There we go. Just sit here for a minute. Watch for chickens. That the internet's going to work here. And what really gets me is, about once a week, we get in our mailbox a flyer from ExploreNet, who's the company, by the way, and they say, we've got this new 20 megabit service that you can have. Just call us and we'll switch you over. Well, that doesn't work because, as I explained, we're at the edge of where the tower's beaming to, or can pick up our signal. And yesterday, they gave me a flyer for 50 megabit for $69 a month for 3 months locked in. And I'm thinking, I'm paying $69 a month for 10. I should get a discount on my bill. I think if everybody started to complain, they would have to do something. Either fix their equipment and spend some money on infrastructure. And I believe just a few months ago, to help this company out, the government gave them either 30 or 28, 30, 40, 50, 60 million dollars to help them out. Well, what they did with that is they expanded their network to places that they didn't have people signed up, but it didn't do anything for the people that were on the existing towers. Now, our government is given $1.75 billion to get everybody on broadband by 2024, I believe it was. But yet, they also said by 2030 for those others. And we always seem to be in the others list. They're not going to spend any money, these buggers, on any of us. And to top it all off, and I'm hopefully wrong, and I don't mind being brought up if I'm wrong, ExploreNet was bought out by an American company. I just shake my head. American company doesn't freaking give a rat's ass about us. It's just money that's going from Canada to United States for somebody there who paid whatever amount of money to buy the satellite service. All it is a bunch of people with 4 or 5 summer homes in different parts of the world. It's totally wrong. And just a little more on this communication thing is, a few years ago, the Americans wanted us to arrest and put under house arrest or deport some Huawei executive living in Vancouver. Well, she's been placed on house arrest. And I don't know how much millions the government's paying to look after this woman on house arrest. And she's wealthy, Chinese woman, because of the 5G network. It's a problem, apparently. This whole thing is really troublesome because even though I was trained as a network engineer 20-some years ago when Windows NT came out, then they came out with Server 2000 or something, so like that's 20 years ago. Oh, I lost my train of thought because there's so much to say. Anyway, you can't pull the wool over my eyes, but what I was going to say is, the older we get, the harder it becomes with the technology that they say is becoming easier. Now imagine if they go with total online shopping, which is great, but when it comes down to it, I'm going to end up having to have a mobile phone that I can only use in the city so that I can go to Walmart, because they won't let you in pretty soon because of this pandemic. They will be delivering groceries, like my son gets, out to the car. You just phone them. They do the shopping for you. They put it in the bags and whatever. And then when you drive up, you give them the phone call and they come out and give you your groceries. I don't want to have a freaking phone to do that. That's, I don't know, it's like somebody else's. All these rich guys got their hands in each other's pockets when they say things like that. Anyway, I'm upset, as you can tell. The older you get, the harder it gets. You know, like there's some things that have come really good over the years. One of them being the tap, they call it. You just put your debit card or your credit card on the machine, and it automatically does the debit for you. Well, it works and it doesn't work. If anything goes wrong with your freaking chip, then you gotta stick the card in there and put your password in so that they can, you can get your stuff and get out of the store. I want to take you out for a little bit of a walk here while we park here. And we're going to go and see the big beaver dam from a different direction. Depends if I should have worn my boots. That's okay. Look at that. That's a big freaking drop there. Thank God the previous owner spent quite a bit of money pushing dirt around here, because this road is reasonably level. Okay, so we're going to go in here, and this is the back side of the beaver dam. I hope the video doesn't die on me here. Always wanted to come in here for a peek from this end. Jesus, freaking sticks. The sticks are at the right size, they lash your face. Oh, okay. Here we are. Huh, imagine that. See all these trees that are laying here? My son came in here and did that. Quite a few years ago, actually. That is extremely thick in there. And unless you, they call it silver or silviculture, where they pay you to come in here and thin out your own wood. So somehow the government figures it generates money for them, probably through taxes and whatnot. But look at, I don't know, hopefully it's not too glary, but look at all the trees that are knocked over. Now right here would be easy enough to come in here with a chainsaw and make a proper trail to walk in here. But if the beavers are in here, and this area was flooded before, let me see here. It's getting soft. Here's the back of the dam here. See the big root ball there stuck out? There's another one over there. And all these trees are like, there'll be root balls underneath every one of those ones that's leaning over. And that's all dead. The moose love this down here. I bet you there'll be, if I walk around here a little bit, I'll spot some tracks. Nothing fresh anyway. Here's something over here that's tore up. Maybe. There's beavers been chewing on all of this. Knock that tree down. There's another root ball. Oh, look at the size of that friggin' thing. That must be about 15 feet up. But the tree is all laying down there. It's deader than a doornail. Huh. It's not bad. You got an idea. But that's thick. You could hardly walk in there. And there's the truck, see? So maybe I'll come in here and I'll take the chainsaw and open this up a little bit so that when we can drive down here, we can always have a little peek-see in here. It's easy going. All right. Well, anyway, that's my rant. I'm so up. Oh, something's been rubbing on here, see? Whack, whack in the face. For you folks that have gone into the woods and stuff like that and walked around, you know that you have to keep at least 6 feet back from the guy in front of you so you don't get a branch in the face. Well, good on you, Nick. That's a freaking job and a half. You just did a little bit. See all the sticks that are laying down there? If you could thin it out enough, then these trees will take off. But if you don't, they could be 100 freaking years old and not much bigger than what they are. But the difference is that the growth rings on them will be tight instead of loose. And the strength of the wood is better because it's structurally stronger. There we go. So I'm going to have to come in here with that, clean that up a little bit. I like that. All right, let's keep going. All these birch on the side of the road, that's future firewood. But those trees won't get very big either because they're all in competition for the sun and nutrients out of the ground. There we go. So that's my rant. And I don't know what the purpose of the ranting is about. I suppose it just de-stresses you a little bit. Here, I'll show you another little thing. We're on top of a knoll and we've walked up quite a bit. You see that there little white thing in there? The stumps? There's 3 or 4 of them. The beavers have been climbing up in here out of the dam to get at this wood so they have something to eat. So that's telling me there's nothing to eat where they are. And that's why they moved up to the other location at some point. But we're going to fix all that somehow, sooner or later. It's my quest. So that's that. And you see where all these birch are on the side here? The road must have been twice as wide or 3 times as wide as what it is now. At one point when they come in here and did all this logging. All kinds of cedars in this area. My son has walked through the whole property and through the woods. More power to him. That'd be the end of me. Hi, sorry, Bobby. I'm scanning the woods to see if I can spot a chicken or something. Doesn't look like a good chicken day. Again, I would have thought it would have been pretty good. Boy, I'd sure like to have a tractor and a bush hog. And the other thing I'd like to have on it is the Wallenstein winch, plus some kind of a tree chipper. And I could just do miracles down here. Because you could cut the trees, the small trees down, stuff them into the chipper, allow that stuff to go down onto the road, which will help build up its biomass a little bit over top of the rocks. Then as time goes by, it would be just like a carpeted lawn. And I only come down here when it's dry out. I don't come down here when it's wet because I don't want to ruin the road. But it's pretty hard to do because the other previous owner put in quite a few culverts in here, and I'm going to go over one right now. A tractor with a little bit of an excavator and some of those culvert pipes, I could dry this up even more. And I know that I can cut a tree down and I can buck it up by hand with a chainsaw, and then I can split it with an axe, no problem. And if anything is really tough, I can use a little 9-ton splitter in the house, and if I still can't split it, I can burn it in the big fire pit instead of in the house. Holy doody. So, just want to point out another little thing. You see that cedar in the middle there? That's dead. There's another one there that's got no top on it. That's long time dead. And there's 2 or 3 taller ones in that batch there that the cedars are dying because they're starting to turn reddish, like this guy here. These beavers, when they plugged up the culvert or when they plug up something and make a dam, it floods it. All these big trees fall down, and then all the scrub trees grow up, and that's their food source. So when they move into an area, they could be there for 20 freaking years, maybe even longer. And it's hard to get rid of the freaking beavers. I don't care what anybody says. You can trap them, but you got to trap them all. One beaver left over, whether it's a male or a female, will attract another one, for you know how things are in the Mother Nature thing, eh? They all will come in and they'll just keep this thing alive. Apparently they have like a half a dozen little babies. That's a lot of freaking beavers. Now, this area here, maybe 3 or 4 it can support. So the other ones take off and they go upstream, downstream. They go some goddamn place. I don't know where. And they do the same thing again. Plug something up, floods it, kills all the big trees. They fall down, and then it opens the canopy up for the little trees to start growing. And that's what they like to eat. All these trees and sticks down here, just little ones. You generally don't see great big giant trees knocked over. But they do it too. They don't think, I don't know how long it frickin' takes them. It'd probably take them a night to knock down a tree that's 12 inches thick. And they're smart. Sometimes they'll eat it till it falls over. But most of the time, the wind just comes along and blows it over. We're doing good. The temperatures have dropped. It's 3 degrees out now. It's 4 down here. And we got rain coming. I can't remember. Another couple of days. And if it doesn't warm up, then things are going to start freezing up. And it won't be long, and then it'll be like pre-winter, we'll say, until the snow hits. And I got a couple of things to get fixed, but we're having a hard time getting the freaking guy to come out to fix them. One of them being the dryer vent outside the garage door, because that snow goes 3/4 of the way up the door every snowstorm, the way it drifts and swirls around there. Same with the cubbyhole door. And in the main front door, you might get 2 feet up the door of that one. it's a big deal here this winter when it comes. And we can get snow right into May. Global warming or not. I'm pretty sure we're almost done with the video today. The other one is still uploading. And I knew better. So help me God, I knew better not to let that friggin' guy reset my modem, but I figure, well, what the hell. I shut down the upload last night. Then I started shutting this off, that off, everything else off. Oh well. Geez, I love it down here. They must have cut some monster trees down here, because some of these stumps down here that are left are 2 feet across. Some of them even 3 feet across. That's a big friggin' tree. Some of those trees are so big, I think a 2-footer can give you a cord of wood on just one tree. It's not easy getting ahead on the firewood. We've hardly burned any this year. Maybe, let me see. 7 times 5 is 35 cubic feet. Maybe a third of a cord or so, a quarter of a cord of wood, which isn't bad. Oh, there's the boys out on the right hand side up there. I remember when they were puppies. We got storm first, and we didn't have this big fenced-in area down here. And we would, I would get up, put my house coat on, blizzard, rain, didn't matter. Slip into my rubber boots and take him out for his morning business and come back in, we go back to bed. I did that for 6 months. Then for about 6 months, we just let storm run loose around here. But soon realized that that type of breed, there is no real place like home. And he was miles from here at times, but he always come back. So we got the guy to build the fence around the bottom here. And I wished we had spent a little more and gotten bigger. But that's okay. Then ice came. So I was out here doing him for 3 or 4 months. Well, he was big enough to go out on his own and back. I was lucky to get about 4 hours sleep between sleeps and having to get back up. Now I got to do something with that frickin' trailer. I'm still waiting for the guy to help me out with the wood here for the so I can cover in the woodshed. Lots to do. I sure hope our internet's working. Like I can only spend so much time on jigsaw puzzles, mahjong, I'm gonna have to take a walk in here one day too, see what's there. On the left, there's another little plantation. Yeah. There's some pretty big old apple trees down here, I tell you. Huge. There's a big birch I could get too. The only problem with cutting wood down here is getting it back up to the house. I don't want to use the mower for that. And if I had a tractor and, you know, just a minimal amount of equipment, there's a big birch there too. That would be a nice one to get down. But it's safe for now. It's pretty hard to, for an older gentleman to be doing mountain goat climbing and stuff like that. But believe me, I'd do it. And I can. Ugh. You start burning some apple wood in the house too, I think. Ugh. There should be a lot of grouse down here underneath these apples. And underneath these things, it wouldn't take too much work to clean them up. there's a lot of dead stuff in there. I don't know. And this is where we threw the old pumpkins last year. But the wife says the pumpkins aren't for eating. I said, well, what the hell are we growing them for? Except for to put on the front step. And they're rotting, so I can't pick them up. So that means I gotta put them in a garbage bag or something. Drag them off to some place. I don't know where. But I'll figure it out. One of those little Ventracs would be great for mowing where the dogs area is and some of this steeper stuff. Oh, the dogs must have went in. Wow. Boys must be in the house. So, hate to say it, but this looks like the end. Two different seasons. We got Halloween, fall, winter, and we're moving into Christmas. Ah, you gotta love it. The wife loves doing her little decor. It's a lot better than a man just doing this by himself, single guy. My wife says, what would you do if I wasn't around? I said, well, I'd have to get women in here on a steady basis just to get the freaking bathrooms cleaned up. And I says, I don't know how long I'd survive on TV dinners, because I'd probably buy them by the case. Case of turkey, case of chicken, and case of beef. I don't know if they have pork or not. And bags of frozen pierogies and bags of frozen on this. A vegetable would probably never go past my lips again. So I gotta keep her healthy. And she's nursing her leg still, so that'll be a while. sadly, this is the end. And lock her up for another day. I think I'll come out here tomorrow and start cleaning this up. Jeez, I think I wasted time. It's got to be clean so that I can get in here with the snow machine. So I usually go out this door, straight over to the posts over there, and then start clearing this side off of the garage so that we can get the Jeep parked in here out of the way, and then we can start tackling this section. It takes me 3 hours to do this at least. 2 or 3 tanks of gas and I'm done. For about a week, because then the next storm comes. Okay, I feel better now. Thanks for coming and thanks for listening. And don't forget, you need to start liking it, the videos. It helps us out somehow. And I love your comments, so keep it up, boys and girls. See you soon.